As we get older, people start saying things to us, such as, take it easy, you've earned your rest, be careful, you don't want to fall, don't push yourself, you don't want to get hurt. And at first, it sounds caring, it sounds wise, like they're looking out for us. But if you listen closely, it's actually teaching us to shrink, to move less, to try less, to slowly step back from the life we used to live. And the scary part is, after a while, we start to believe it. We start second guessing what we're capable of. We hesitate, we hold back. But what if getting older isn't about doing less? What if it's your chance to finally do more with intention, with strength, and with purpose? Let's live life. I am not ready to slow down and take it easy. I am ready to kick it up a notch. I turned 65 this year, and I want to really start pushing myself, start challenging myself. Therefore, I got the book 75 Hard by Andy Frisella, and I have decided to take this challenge. In this video, I will explain what all the rules are in this challenge. And I'll also talk to you about some people I watched online that accidentally disqualify themselves. If I'm going to do this, I'm going all in 100%. And I've also done a couple things to help me with my follow through. So I will show you that as well. First, what is 75 hard? It's not a weight loss challenge. It's not a physical fitness challenge. It is a mental toughness challenge. There are 5 critical tasks you have to do every single day, and if you do one wrong or forget one, you start over from day 1 in this 75-day challenge. So, we're not gonna wanna mess up. So I will show you what the 5 critical tasks are that we have to do every single day. The first critical task I'm going to talk to you about is drinking a gallon of water. Not close to a gallon, not almost a gallon, but a full gallon of water. There are studies that show people struggle with their diets, but they also struggle with drinking enough water. And when we're dehydrated, it's hard to be our best self. So, some of the ways I saw people get disqualified online was one gal, she weighed 100 pounds. And so she said, therefore, she only had to drink half a gallon of water because Andy Frisella, who made up the challenge, weighs over 200 pounds. Therefore, she weighed half as much as him, so would only have to drink half the water. It says in the rules, there's no exception on the water regardless of weight, sex, or age. We all have to drink 1 gallon of water. Another gal that I saw disqualify herself, she was talking about, oh, I love my first bottle of water because I put my flavored collagen into it. Well, guess what? The water has to be straight, pure water. No electrolytes, protein powders, crystal lights, vitamins, or flavored collagen can go in your water, or it doesn't count towards your gallon. So we're not going to want to do those things to disqualify ourselves. And something I did is I bought a gallon of water at the grocery store. I actually emptied it out and then I measured a gallon of water. Because you know at the grocery store how these jugs, some are higher and some are lower. So I measured it and then I marked this jug. And from this jug, I'm going to fill my 2 water bottles. And once all my bottles, this and my bottles are completely gone, then I know that I've gotten my water in for the day. So I think that'll make it easier for me to keep track of. The next critical task I'm going to talk to you about is reading 10 pages of a nonfiction book every single day. The book needs to be an entrepreneur, business self-help type book, something that you're going to learn something from and that it'll help you grow. The book needs to be traditional print, which is 200 to 300 words per page. It can't be a poetry book that has just a few words, or a smaller size book, of course, with just a few words. It can't be magazines, and you can't go online and read the latest news. It can, however, be a Kindle. And once you start your book, you have to finish it. It has to be completed before you start your next book. So, anyway, a few books I have chosen. I don't know if I'll get to all of them. And if I change my mind, I might pick some different books. But once I start a book, I will finish it. I have The Unexpected Joys of Being Sober, because one of the challenges I did for myself last year is I decided to quit drinking for a year. And it's been 15 months now. And I've never read a book on being sober. So I thought, okay, I'll read this. And then Inner Excellence. I have a friend that read this and said it was really good. So I thought, okay, I can try that. Then I have Clutter Your Way to Success, or Declutter Your Way to Success, excuse me. I'm always reading books on decluttering and minimalism and getting rid of my things. I've been doing that for years. And anytime I can get motivation from a book, I'm all over it. And then Atomic Habits. I have read this before. It's a really good book. So those are the books I've chosen so far, and I might add some different ones, but once I start, I will finish. The next thing I'm going to talk about is you need to choose a diet. Andy Frisella doesn't choose one for us. He said, pick one that suits your needs. But once you choose your diet, there's no cheating, no cheat meals, no cheat weeks, no cheating, not even an M&M or a gummy bear. So make sure that you choose a diet that suits your needs and also eliminate any alcohol. The diet I'm choosing for the 75 Hard Challenge is the Nutrisystem diet. I've done it before, and I know that I can stick 100%. I like that they ship the food to me in these big containers and that a lot of it's all ready to go. I do need to add my vegetables, proteins, and carbohydrates, but the base of the food is ready to roll, and I can do it 100% for the challenge. The next critical task I'm going to talk about is you have to do 2 45-minute workouts. One of them has to be outside, and they have to be 3 hours apart. I watched a man say that it was pouring down rain, so he opened his garage door and said he felt the air, so he felt like that was his outdoor workout. And Andy Frisella is saying, no, it has to be under the sky. So I started thinking about that, and I thought, okay, well, if it was pouring down rain, could I use an umbrella? And I didn't see anything about that in the book. So I went to 75hard.com to ask that question. And in the area where you ask questions, it said, if you're here to ask a question to make the challenge easier for yourself, the answer is no. Do the harder thing. So I guess I won't use an umbrella in the rain. But he does say, be smart. If it's cold out, bundle up. You can wear hats and gloves and, don't be stupid. So anyway, no umbrella in the rain for me. Something that I recently got to help me with this challenge is this treadmill. It was given to me for free. And I'm sure if you're needing exercise equipment, treadmill, elliptical, exercise bikes, that you probably know somebody that would gladly give it to you, or you could get it for cheap if perhaps you don't already have one yourself. I just feel like this will come in handy on days where it's really cold in the morning or dark at night. As long as I get my outside workout in, this would be perfect for my inside workout. So I think this is going to be a good addition. The next task I'm going to talk about is a progress photo. I have a mirror set up here in my room that'll make it easier for me to just snap a picture and be done with it. The progress photo is the one that Andy Frisella said is taken for granted. It's the one that people don't think is that big of a deal. In fact, he had a friend that missed his photo on day 67 and said, "Hey, it's not that big a deal. It was just my picture." And Andy Frisella said, "Nope, start over day one." He goes, "My friend, I'm watching you struggle in life, and it's because you're not paying attention to the smaller details." It's about following through even on the little tasks. Andy Frisella is saying our success in life is a compilation of all the little things that we do daily. With this picture, he's saying, for women, take it in a swimsuit, men in a pair of shorts, just show part of your body so that you can see a change. And again, he said it's not really about the photo itself, but it is kind of fun to watch changes happen. Part of 75 Hard is no alcohol. Thank goodness I stopped alcohol over 12 months ago. So I'm not going to have this struggle. But we're giving it up because it is a difference in your lifestyle. It is hard. So, no alcohol. So, those were the 5 critical tasks on 75 Hard. Simple? Yes. Easy to do every day? Not a chance. But that's the point. I am stepping into this at 65 not to prove anything to anybody else except myself. I want to prove to myself I am not done growing, I'm not done pushing, and I am definitely not ready to slow down. So, have you ever felt that voice creeping in saying, "Take it easy, don't do that, you might get hurt"? Maybe it's time we stop listening to it. And maybe it's time we start challenging it. If you want to join me on this 75 Hard challenge, I would love to have you. Or if you want to watch and then maybe get motivated to do it in the future, perfect. Let's do this together. If you want to see my video on week 1, hit the subscribe button. And I will get that up as soon as I get done with my first week on 75 Hard. Let's do it.